Happy Mirror Monday, everybody. Today I wanted to talk about a tournament I went to this past weekend. It was an OU tournament. It was in person, so everyone had their laptops and we were playing at a table. This is at my university's bi-year, twice a year, whatever, once a semester, big gaming tournament, and they offered a Pokemon Showdown tournament this year. I ended up winning the OU tournament, so I wanted to go over my winners finals and my grand finals matches at this tournament, and just show you how I ended up winning this tournament as someone who has not played OU in, I want to say, 5 months, and as someone who despises this as a format. Alrighty, so my winners finals match was against Flaming Pidgey, the GOAT, also known as Inker, and he ended up bringing this team. And when I saw this team, I realized that this is probably a Hisuian Samurai lead or a Landorus lead, so I decided to pick Primarina into it because against both I get to press a strong button. It looked like pretty free. Like honestly, I'm cool with pressing Moonblast instead of any of these guys, so I ended up leading the Prima. He leads the Samurott. Ended up pressing Moonblast. He gets his Spingle Spike up with Ceaseless. Ends up being Focus Sash. And here, instead of taking more damage, I decided to just go Lando and punish him with my Rocky Helmet. So he ends up dying. I keep my helmet because of how knockoff works with Rocky. He goes his own Lando. He presses Stone Edge. At this point, I thought he was Scarf because he went faster than me. I wasn't 100% sure, but when I saw him go first again and press Stone Edge again, I was like, okay, this guy's definitely Scarf. I'm just going to get my Rocks up because he has no removal on this team, and I'm going to get out. So I U-turn out, and then I realize, okay, he's, unfortunately, he is faster than me. Or, unfortunately, he's not Scarf, and I had to figure out who would come in and eat this Stone Edge. So I went Darkrai, and he ends up pressing Earthquake like a goat, like a boss. I got so mixed here. But he ends up going Gambit, expecting an Ice Beam from this Darkrai, and I got a free Will-O-Wisp onto the Gambit. The Balloon Gambit, which practically ended up being winning. I didn't want to attack this Darkrai because it's still good, it has Ice Beam for the Lando and Dark Pulse for the Golden Go, so I ended up going into Lando and getting my Intimidate off. He presses Low Kick, takes Rocky Helmet damage, and at this point I figured he's probably going to attack this thing or try to save it. He might try to save it just because it's a King Gambit, and priority is also always nice. So I ended up U-turning out. I probably should have attacked. Oh, he was Balloon. Never mind, I could have Earthquake. Sorry, ignore me. So he turned into Prima, expecting a dark move. He ends up Swords Dancing, a little bit scary. I ended up surfing. He probably thought I was going to go back into Lando and shuffle, so I get to kill him with the King Gambit. He's going to go Golden Go here. I can eat a Make It Rain because I'm Assault Vest, so I go for a flip turn. Unfortunately, he T-Waves me and I get full parried. But he decides to plot here, and I get to flip turn into my Boots Darkrai, who's going to take no damage from the spikes and threaten to kill. The only way his Golden Go is going to live here is if he Terras, and he ends up deciding to sack the Golden Go because at this point he is so far behind that he needs this Iron Moth or Roaring Moon to be a sweeper and crawl him back into the game. So he sacks the Golden Go, goes Moth, and starts to fish for his Fire Dance boosts. Now this thing is insanely scary because I don't know its coverage. It can have Dazzling Gleam for Roaring Moon. I was also afraid of Substitute in case of so I can't really kill with Gambit. So he Fire Dances, does not get the boost. I figured that I just want to kill this thing. I don't want to give it any opportunities to get more Fire Dance boosts, so I decided to burn my King Gambit Terra really early. Moth can't kill Gambit with anything unboosted. Maybe Bug Buzz will kill, but no Moth is ever running Bug Buzz in the history of OU. So I just Terra Dark and I Kowtow in case he sub. I just want to get the kill. He ends up Fire Dancing. He gets the boost, but he dies to Terra Dark Kowtow because I'm also Black Glasses. He goes Salamence. He goes Roaring Moon. There's only really one way that this Moon is going to win is if it gets a Dragon Dance off. So I decided to stay in and attack it. I get some big Iron Head damage, and then my Sucker actually ends up hitting the roll because I'm Terra Dark Black Glasses to the Moon. And now at this point the game is pretty much over, so I end up securing that win with the clutch Darkrai Will-O-Wisp, and then he just ends up sacking the Lando for the Prima. So my grand finals match was against RH32525. This guy is who I played in winter semifinals, so he knows my Terra Fairy Dragonite set already. I swept him with the Terra Fairy Dragonite after removing the Pecharunt. So I realized that I can't probably play for the Terror Fairy D-Knight again because he's going to play around it. This guy legit entered an OU tournament and loaded up Valiant plus the UU super team. So I thought that was funny. But the good thing about this matchup is that Primarina eats this team alive. It gets to come in for free on like Guard, Hydrapple, and Tinglu, and press buttons. The only thing that's really scary in this team is Guard. Guard kind of dumpsters my team. I don't really have Assault Gear switch in, and it just kind of sits there and chips me down so much. His team also doesn't have removal, which is nice, so I wanted to get rocks up again, which... Sorry, I typed sound on. Okay. So I lead Prima because I wanted, in case he decides to lead something like Valiant. Literally any other Pokemon besides the Slow Kicks, I get to press a button with Prima, so Low Kicks is a good lead for him, and he's a good choice. It's the only thing that doesn't let my Prima press for a free button turn 1. So then I'm going Lando and getting some Rocky Chip on the Slow Kicks. He's going to U-turn, take some damage, and I believe he goes Iron Valiant here. Now, the funny thing is, in our winter set, I stayed in with Lando and I pressed Earth Power. So this time I ended up switching. I eat the Moonblast because I'm AV, which is nice because that means I get a free Moonblast into his team. The only thing that resists Moonblast out here is going to be the Pecharunt. I could have surfed, but it wasn't really worth the risk, I didn't feel like, so I just Moonblast. Now, I feel, obviously he doesn't want to stay in because he doesn't want to take damage with the Pecharunt because this Dragonite is a demon with a Terra Fairy once this Pecharunt gets weakened enough. So I knew he was going to Parting Shot, so I just get a Flip Turn and get a free Pivot, although realistically I kind of hate this guard, hate coming into this guard, but luckily I am packing Taunt on the Lando, so he can't get his rocks up, which annoyed the Prima a lot, because the Prima wants to come in all the time, and it's not good to AB, obviously. So I end up pressing rocks here. I end up switching because, honestly, I never want to like take damage on this Lando because this Locust is super scary. So I go Prima again. I'm very lucky versus Encore here. Maybe expecting to stay in and attack at that time, but I end up going Prima and I get another free Moonblast. And the Pecharunt's going to come in and take more damage from Moonblast, and I decide to press Surf here in case he decides to stay in Malignant. I'm very happy to trade this. Prima for the Pecharunt because then it opens up the D-Knight endgame really well. So I stay in and why is this popped up? So I stay in and I end up sacking, or not. Honestly, he didn't get the poison, but I stayed in the 8M Malignant chain just to get the Pecharunt dead, and then Iron Valiant comes in to revenge the Moonblast. And I ended up deciding that it was worth it to Terra Steel here to get rid of this Iron Valiant because. Honestly, this Valiant is like insanely scary for me a little bit, and also I knew the Prima lived the Moonblast, so I would get the kill and my Prima would still be alive. And as long as I keep rocks on the field, then they can just keep coming back in and pressing more buttons. So I end up tearing. He gets a crit, which is annoying because now I'm in rocks range, but it's fine. I get the kill on that thing. He goes Low Kicks. This is the only thing that can do that. At this point, the Valiant's dead, so this Prima outspeeds his entire team besides the low Kicks. So I just go and I get more Rocky damage. He's running Boost Low Kicks. He goes Hydrapple here. I figured he's going to press Giga Drain or a Dragon move, so I end up U-turning out and I went into Darkrai because he lived either of them. And I threatened, okay, he knows I have Ice Beam because we played in semifinals. He also knows I have Dark Pulse. He also knows that I can't touch the guard because I'm not Nasty Plot, and I'm also Wisp, which lets me get a free double into Prima here onto the guard. If he wants to tear the guard, he can, but I just, wanted to get my damage. I press Moonblast. Yo, I'm kind of a freak for that Moonblast, I'm not gonna lie. That was like an insane... I mean, it covers the terror on the guard. I think Moonblast is always probably the best play in case he switches into Apple. But anyways, Moonblast, Dead Hydrapple. Same cycle again, looking just to come in, take Rock Helmet damage. I'm just gonna keep repeating the cycle of Prima coming in and having he has to revenge with Low Kicks. I'm gonna Earth Power this thing instead. I assume he wouldn't press rocks because he expects a taunt. He Ice Punches and kills me. Kind of crazy Ice Punch, I'm not gonna lie. But now this guard can't live Moonblast even with Terra. So I get a free kill on that thing. He's gonna go Low Kicks again. Obviously his only option, so I'm going to go with D-Knight and take some damage, and I don't really want to send anything in case he presses an attack on this. You know, I wanted to go Prima, but I think I just stated in. Oh, I did go Prima. Okay, so yeah. That was okay. I'm actually the GOAT, dude. I forgot, man. I'm just that good. I figured he'd try to get a hazard up so that he can kill the Prima when it comes in. So I just decided to come in on the hazard. He has to burn Terra on Tinglu to not take like 70 from Surf. So now this Tinglu's Terra and this Locust can't Terra anymore, and the game looks pretty good for me. I go Darkrai so I can get a Sludge. Oh, I whiffed because I'm the GOAT again, bro. Every time I'm just too good. I was gonna Sludge. I can just Sludge on the Tinglu, but anyways, I get a burn on the Locust. Now the game is like super duper over. Now this Locust cannot do any damage in any capacity. I saw Spike's Earthquake. Obviously, you also assume Rocks plus Ruination, so D-Knight cannot be killed by this Lu. So I just decided to roost and see if he has anything that isn't Ruination. But your one's moving in. I don't really care. I just go back into D-Knight. He can't touch me. His last move is definitely Ruination, so I'm just gonna spam EQ forever. He's gonna keep Ruinationing me. I just keep EQing. Then the Locust dies. Lulu dies. Loki comes in and he gets always revenged by Roaring Moon Acro. So that is how I won the OU tournament at my school's gaming tournament, which is really nice, dude. You know, if you know me in person, you know that this is my least favorite format of all time. But low-key, I kind of had fun, and this might be my calling. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not trying to get ahead of myself, but I might be the OU GOAT.